Hello there and a very warm welcome. This is Primetime News on TV1. I'm Theruni Karunaratna. Here's a look at tonight's top stories.
President pledges to further reduce cost of living by 2025. Sajid Premadasa promises 15% increase in interest on senior citizens' savings. Anura Kumara vows to foster prosperity through fair tax system. Modernizing Sri Lanka starts with revamping public service, says Namal. Gammatha provides clean drinking water for students of the Beralihela Junior School in Lunugam, Vihara.
Sri Lanka decide. Sri Lanka decide.
On to tonight's top story. Independent presidential candidate Ranil Wickremesinghe has asserted that the cost of living will be further reduced by 2025. He made this statement at a public rally in Batticaloa.
State Minister Sivanesature Chandrakanthan alias Pillayan organised the rally to support independent presidential candidate Ranil Wickremesinghe's election campaign.
The price of dal has reduced by 41% since July 2022. Retail prices have dropped by 29%. Chicken prices are down by 11%. Diesel prices have fallen by 28%. Bus fares have been reduced from 40 rupees to 28 rupees. The cost of gas has decreased from 5,370 rupees to 3,600 rupees. I want to assure you that by 2025, we will provide further relief to living expenses. I was unable to hold the election in 2023 due to financial constraints. What did my opponent do? He went to court and filed a case that I am not holding elections. Had I been able to hold the election, I would have dedicated 3 to 4 months here. I sought to make the most of the 365 days of 2023. But emerging from poverty and bankruptcy is not an overnight process. The court's order against me was a violation of fundamental rights. Ensuring the well-being of the people should not be considered a breach of fundamental rights. I am prepared to endure hardships for the benefit of the people. Let's progress together. I will strive to secure a better future for you. Next year, we will seek support from the IMF to prepare the budget. The World Bank has pledged $700 million as a budgetary support, while the Asian Development Bank has promised $300 million. This means we will receive a total debt relief of $1 billion. However, the debt will not be fully paid until the end of 2027. We need to figure out how to manage the budget within these constraints.
Independent presidential candidate Ranil Wickremesinghe also joined a public meeting held in Pothuil yesterday.
I did not leave any field abandoned. There were no fallow fields. That's why I took over and did my work. For this, Sajid accuses me of working with thieves and being greedy for power. He claims I took this position that was rightfully his. If he had understood the situation, he would have come and taken the Prime Minister post and the presidency. Instead, Sajid thought only of himself and believed the issues could not be resolved. He ran away and now blames me for providing food and finding gas. These are the accusations against me. What is the current situation with this position? What more can you do if you cannot manage this job? We need to move forward. Today the price of goods is lower than before, but we need to strengthen the rupee and increase GDP. Only then can we manage the cost of living in this country. The rupee should be strengthened. Our government has provided more concessions than a typical government. I will never let religion and race influence politics. This government can protect against that. On the 21st of September, you decide your future. Considering this, I suggest you cast your vote for the gas cylinder. If you don't complain there are no gas cylinders later.
ඒ ගැන හිතලා මම කියන්නේ ගෑස් සිලින්ඩර් එක ළඟින් කතිරේ ගහන්න. ඒක නැකරුවොත් ගෑස් සිලින්ඩර් නෑ කියලා අඬන්න එපා. දැනට අපේ ප්‍රදේශයේ අපේ ගොවිතැන් කරන උදවියට
We'll change the laws of the Forest Conservation Department, which are currently causing significant problems for our farming community, and provide opportunities for people to benefit from them in the future. We can confidently declare that Ranil Wickremesinghe is the only leader who has given us this opportunity in the history of this country.
අපිට ලබා දුන්න එකම රාජ්‍ය නායකයා රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මැතිතුමා විතරයි.
Presidential candidate of the National People's Power, Anura Kumara said that his aspiration is to create a prosperous nation by implementing a fair and equitable tax system.
The Balangoda rally of the National People's Power was held under the leadership of Anura Kumara Disanayaka.
සෞභාග්‍යවත් අනාගතයක් පොහොසත් රටක් ලස්සන හෙටක් නිර්මාණය කරන ආදරණීය අනුර සහෝදරයාගේ බලංගොඩ සම්ප්‍රාප්තියයි මේ නිල් මැණික් ඔබ්බවපු ශ්‍රී ලංකාවක් ආදරණීය අනුර සහෝදරයාගේ දෑතට පත් කරන්නටයි සූදානම් වන්නේ.
අලුතින් සල්ලි හොයන්න පුළුවන් කොහොමද අපේ කර්මාන්ත දිනු කරන්න අපි සැලසුම් හදලා තියෙනවා. එතන මොකද වෙන්නේ? තේ කර්ම
We can generate new revenue by focusing on industrial development. We have outlined plans to boost various sectors. As the tea industry generates profits, the government will implement a fair tax on those earnings. High taxes have constrained industries like the gem sector. We are striving to develop Sri Lanka into a major gem hub. Emergence of new businesses and entrepreneurs will be encouraged, and these new ventures will generate income. The government will charge a fair tax on that income. We plan to enhance transparency by informing taxpayers about how their taxes are used. After 2 or 3 years, we will send detailed SMS updates to every taxpayer, outlining how much tax they have paid and how those funds have been allocated, such as for education, healthcare, road construction and security. Taxpayers will know how their contributions are used. Business owners don't inherently dislike paying taxes, but they are concerned that their tax money may be misused or stolen. We have developed a comprehensive plan to provide relief to the people with education and economy. I am not promising overnight miracles or claiming to have a magic wand. The National People's Power is committed to gradual step-by-step approach to make this country prosperous. Our goal is to build a prosperous nation, a better life. Our sole focus is on improving this country and ensuring a comfortable life for the people. There are no personal agendas here.
මේ රට හදන්න මේ රටේ ජනතාවගේ ජීවිතේ සපවත් කරන්න. ඒ පරමාර්ථය අර පෞද්ගලික කිසි පරමාර්ථයක් මේ වේදිකාවෙන් කිසිවෙකුට නැහැ.
The presidential candidate of the Samagi Jana Balabege, Sajid Premadasa, said that the allowance provided to senior citizens will be increased from 3,000 rupees to 5,000 rupees, and the interest on savings for senior citizens will be raised to 15%. He expressed these views while addressing the Samagi Jana Balabege public rally in Digana.
A public rally of presidential candidate of the Samagi Jana Balawegya, Sajid Premadasa, was held in Digana today. Many parliamentarians and party activists attended the rally.
මේ රටේ විප්ලවීය වෙනසක් ඇති කරන්නට නම් ආර්ථිකයේ ගොඩනැගීමට
We remember Digana as the site of a horrific riot during 2017 to 2018. We chose Sajid Premadasa as the right leader to create a country without racism and religious divisions. His father, Ranil Singha Premadasa, was entrusted with the presidency during a time when the nation faced terrorism both in the north and the south. The late leader of the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress, Ashraf, played a key role in making him the president. We now stand together to support his son, Sajid Premadasa, for his victory, to drive revolutionary change in this country. Consider who is best equipped to build the economy. Our trio of economic experts, Iran, Harsha and Kabir, are highly regarded both nationally and internationally by all ambassadors. Such a group is not with Ranil or the NPP. If the NPP had taken over the government, who would have been their finance minister? Is there a viable team? Looking at the group surrounding Ranil Wickremesinghe, can we really entrust the future of this country to them? reflect on this.
වටේ ඉන්න හොරු රැළ දිහා බැලුවාම ඒ අයට බාර දෙන්න පුළුවන්ද මේ රට? පොඩ්ඩක් කල්පනා කරලා බලන්න. ඔන්න අපේ විශ්‍රාමික ප්‍රජාවට ලබා දෙන සහන පැකේජය වැඩිහිටි දීමනාව 3000 සිට 5000 කරනවා. පොලි අනුපාතය 115 දක්වා වැඩි කරලා ඔබගේ ඉතිරි කිරීම.
Here is the relief package for our pensioners. The senior citizens allowance will be increased from 3,000 to 5,000 rupees. Your savings will be given a great value with an increase in the interest rates up to 15%. The Agrahara insurance scheme will be extended to those who retired before 2016. We will restore the lost privileges to those who retired during the period of 2016 to 2019. We will strengthen the retired community through a new act. We are working to enhance the privileges of all these individuals, including police officers, civil defense personnel and soldiers. We will address the pension problems in the education sector. We have presented these suggestions and plans. No false promises. Premadasas have consistently delivered on their commitments. Now, we are being questioned about the financial resources to implement these plans. Yes, funds are available. The first step will be to cut unnecessary government expenditure, starting with reducing the president's budget. I will ensure that my presidency does not become a burden on the country. From these savings, we will provide relief to the people, including concessions for pensioners and government employees. I will share details on additional concessions in the future.
ජනාධිපතිවරයෙක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මම පටන් ගන්න එතනින් මුදල් ඉතුරු කරලා රටේ ජනතාවට සහන ටික දෙනවා. විශ්‍රාමික ප්‍රජාවට වැඩිහිටියන්ට සහන ටික දෙනවා. රාජ්‍ය සේවකින්ට සහන ටික දෙනවා. අනිත් අයට දෙන සහන ටික තව ඉදිරියේදී කියන්නම්.
Meanwhile, presidential candidate of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Nama Rajapaksa, said that modernizing the nation begins with transforming public service.
The Dewalapitiya rally of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was held under the chairmanship of presidential candidate Nama Rajapaksa.
We will put an end to the practice of using election promises to give people hopes about salary increases. Those who previously claimed there were no resources or funds to raise salaries are now discussing salary increases for 2025. Should government employees have to wait for an election to see their salaries increase? Regardless of who comes to power or when an election is held, we need to establish a system that ensures income growth for government workers and the public. In line with the country's inflation, the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna has introduced a modernized set of policies for this year's elections to address this issue.
Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna මෙවර මැතිවරණයට අපි ඉදිරිපත් වෙන්නේ. එවකට තිබුණු ප්‍රශ්න ටික විසඳන්න.
We appointed Ranil Wickremesinghe as the president to solve the crisis back then because they refused Rajapaksa to take office. That doesn't mean he should remain in that chair for another 5 years. Did we ask Prasanna Ranatunga to abandon the party and sit on Ranil Wickremesinghe's lap? Did we ask them to go support him? No. If Prasanna Ranatunga claims he took that decision for the sake of the people, we are not sure about that. We hear several talks on the political stage. Dasiri Jayasekara is talking about a bar permit, while some others are talking about 1.5 million and 2.5 million. We've heard that Prasanna Ranatunga is aiming for a ministerial position and even dreaming of becoming Prime Minister by helping Ranil win. After getting the work done by the Rajapaksas, let me remind you that Prasanna, Kokila and Lasantha all left. Don't cry over that. They didn't just leave. We sent them away just like flushing a commode.
රාජපක්ෂ වරුන්ගෙන් වැඩ අරගෙන එහෙනම් මා ඔබට මතක් කරන්නේ ප්‍රසන්න ගියා කෝකිලා ගියා ලසන්ත ගියා අරයා ගියා මෙයා කියා අඬා ඉන්න එපා ඒ ඔක්කොම ගියා නෙමෙයි කොමඩ් දෙක ප්ලස් කරාසේ ඔවුන්ව යවුවා කියන මනස හදාගන්න.
Independent presidential candidate Field Marshal Sarat Fonseka stressed that the nation should be liberated from partisan politics.
A public meeting was held in Maharagama today to support Field Marshal Sarat Fonseka's independent presidential bid.
Our country is currently in a state of financial collapse. Politicians secure loans from around the world but these funds are often misappropriated by corrupt officials while you reap the benefits. Meanwhile, the loans are repaid without addressing the basic needs of the people. I have committed myself to resolving the crisis and guiding us out of this turmoil. I trust you understand this dire reality. Corrupt politicians embezzle public funds and distribute meager handouts, such as cement and rice, to deceive the impoverished. We do not escape the cycle of corruption. Your lives will remain stagnant. Please grasp the gravity of this situation.
In the bustling metropolis of big cities, the daily struggles often differ from those faced in rural hinterlands. While we grapple with traffic congestion, high living costs and the relentless pace of urban life, the residents of rural villages confront challenges that are rooted in their environment and infrastructure. This is the story of the people of Beralihala.
In the heart of rural Sri Lanka, a small village named Beralihala faced a daily struggle that many of us cannot fathom: the lack of clean drinking water. This seemingly simple necessity was a luxury beyond the reach of the village's residents, particularly the young students of the Beralihala Junior School. The absence of clean water cast a long shadow over the community. Students found it difficult to concentrate in class, their minds preoccupied with the constant thirst and discomfort. Their academic performance suffered, their dreams of a brighter future dimmed by the relentless thirst. The situation seemed hopeless until Gammadda, a beacon of hope for Sri Lanka's rural communities, stepped in. Recognizing the urgent need for clean water, Gammadda embarked on a mission to bring relief to the thirsty village of Beralihala. With unwavering determination, Gammadda launched a project to build a new water purification system at the Beralihala Junior School. The newly constructed water purification system was handed over to the people, marking the end of the community's long-standing water crisis. Thanks to the support of Deutilini Ramsey, in memory of Indramali Fernando, Professor Vincent Pastor Pires, Mohideen Sahibu Sitti Faiza and Nalini Piasena, the new water purification system was built. Students, teachers and community members gathered to celebrate this momentous occasion. Tears of joy flowed as they realized that their thirst had finally been quenched. The burden of water scarcity, which had weighed heavily on their hearts and minds for so long, had been lifted. The story of Beralihala is a reminder that even in the most challenging circumstances, the power of human compassion can bring about extraordinary change. Gammadda, for the people, by the people. Strengthening the people, fighting for the truth, leading a nation, forging the future. Newsfirst, with the people.
Now, the Samagi Jonabalavege emphasized today that the enhancement of human resources and the adoption of a fair tax policy will be implemented under a president from their party. This was at a media briefing attended by members of the SJB's Economic Committee.
The SJB will give prominence to enhancing human resources. We plan to recruit more for government job training. Life is an eternal learning curve. Technology and international norms are ever changing. Government employees must have that training. Secondly, we will reduce the politicians' involvement in the government employees' work. We will not appoint anyone related to any politician's family. We heard Anura Kumara Disanayaka say that he will reduce the tax on food, health and education. Is there VAT on these items? What food items are taxed? Currently there is no VAT on food. There is a separate tax for imported items. We were the ones who advocated against replacing the SCL with VAT. It seems someone has given them incorrect information, leading them to claim they will abolish VAT on selected items. Where is the VAT on health? In the health sector, if you use the AC in a private hospital room, you are taxed based on consumption. What we are proposing is to reduce the VAT from the current 18% to 15% as soon as possible. This country needs a fair tax system. The government must take responsibility to ensure that those who earn more pay more tax and those who earn less pay less tax. We from the SJB will do everything to ensure that this principle is practiced.
Former chairman of the United National Party, Rukman Senanaika, has passed away at his residence in Colombo.
Former chairman of the United National Party, Rukman Senanaika, passed away today at the age of 76. Grandson of Sri Lanka's first Prime Minister D.S. Senanaika, UNP stalwart and former Cabinet Minister Rukman Senanaika entered politics in 1973 from the Dadigama electorate. He re-entered Parliament in 1994 and won a parliamentary seat in the 2004 election representing the Kegol district. Rukman Senanaika served as the Cabinet Minister of Environment and Natural Resources from 2002 to 2004. He was then appointed as the chairman of the United National Party in 2007. His family said that details of his final rites will be announced soon.
For a rich country, Rata Anurata, Jatika Jana Balavegaya. Ever Pintaru Vedamulu Maha Pradarshaniya. NVQ සහතිකලාභී වෘත්තීය පින්තාරු ශිල්පියෙක් ශිල්පිනියක් වීමට ඔබ අදම එක්වන්න. විස්තර හා ව්‍යාපදිංචි වීමට අමතන්න 0777 6040. ජැට් පින්තාරු අභිමාන දේශීය දෙබ පින්තාරු කරන්නේ උන්නතිය උදෙසා. For a rich country, රට අනුරට ජාතික ජන බලවේගය.
Welcome back to Primetime News. The highly anticipated grand finale of the Shakti Crown is happening right now. The 6 finalists are giving it their all on stage, hoping to be crowned the next big singing sensation.
Shakti Crown! Shakti Crown Grand Finale!
Welcome y'all to the grand finale of Shakti Crown!
Shakti Crown is taking the spotlight tonight. This groundbreaking music show, a product of the collaboration of media giants MTV MBC Media Network, Newsfirst, Stein Studios and M Entertainment, has redefined Sri Lankan Tamil television and is on a quest to find the next big singing sensation. After sifting through over 5,000 contestants from all corners of the country, the competition has narrowed down to 6 incredible finalists. P. Sitsabesan from Coach Ashwini's team, GK and ST Mayuran from Coach Chamru's squad, and Akshaya, Pranavi and Akash Madan, all under Coach Roy's wing. Tonight, these finalists are bringing their A-game to vie for the coveted title of Sri Lanka's next singing sensation.
மழைக்காலத்தில் சரியும் மந்தரை போலவே மனமும் உரை கண்டதும் சரிய கண்டேனே அடியே கொல்லுதே அழகோ அழுதே இருடலில் ஒளிவிட்டு மழக கொய்யா கொய்யா வீரர் துன்பம் தன் துன்பம் போலே வரலாற்றில் ஒரு தலைவன் உருவாகுவார் ரொம்ப ஆடாதம்மா எரிக்க எரிக்க அடிவாருமா மௌனமே வேதம்மா உன்னை பாராமலே இந்த முழு ஜென்மம் போயிருந்தா
are coming to you live from the grand finale of Shakti Crown, and as you can see, the crowd is on their feet cheering for their favorite contestants who are participating at this year's grand finale of Shakti Crown. And also you can vote for your favorite contestant by typing SC space then your favorite contestant's number and send it to 7788. Out of 5,000 participants, only 6 contestants are contesting at this year's final, coming from all across Sri Lanka and coming to Stein Studios in Ratmalana. It's action-filled, it's thrilling and entertaining. This is the very latest coming to you from the grand finale of Shakti Crown. I am Budmina Divakara for Newsfirst.
Put your hands together for God.
In news overseas now, independent White House candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has joined the Republican nominee Donald Trump on stage at a rally in Arizona after dropping out of the race and endorsing the former U.S. president.
70-year-old Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a Democrat for most of his life and the scion of the Kennedy dynasty, said the principles that had led him to leave the party had now compelled him to quote-unquote throw my support to President Trump. He said in a media briefing in Phoenix, Arizona, that he would seek to remove his name from the ballot in 10 battleground states. Trump praised Kennedy as phenomenal and brilliant as he welcomed him on stage at the rally later in Glendale. Democratic rival Kamala Harris said she would try to earn the support of Kennedy voters. The son of U.S. Senator Robert F. Kennedy and nephew of President John F. Kennedy is from the most famed family in Democratic politics. Before welcoming RFK Jr. to the stage on Friday, Trump promised, if elected, to release all remaining documents relating to the 1963 assassination of President Kennedy.
I am announcing tonight that upon my election, I will establish a new independent presidential commission on assassination attempts. And they will be tasked with releasing all of the remaining documents pertaining to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy.
According to reports, with November's election looming, Kennedy's polling has slumped from a high of double figures as funds and national coverage dried up.
වැඩබැරි තාසන්ලා එක්ක අත්හදා බලනවද නැද්ද කියන්නේ.
ලෝකේ හැමදාම ඉස්සරහට ගිය අත්හදා බැලීම් වලින් තමයි.
රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ ජනාධිපතිතුමා අල පුරුද්ද තියෙන කල පුරුද්ද තියෙන දේශපාලකයෙක්.
රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ කියන්නේ මේ රටේ වැඩියෙන්ම ආණ්ඩුක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථාව කඩපු නායකයෙක්.
අත්දැකීම් නැති කයිවාරු ගහන කණ්ඩායමකට දීලා නම් මේක හරියන්නේ නැහැ.
For a rich country, රට අනුරට ජාතික ජන බලවේගය.
රටක් ලෙස අප හමුවේ ඇති සිහින අනාගතයට අප රැගෙන යන බලාපොරොත්තුවයි. සැපවත් නගරවල මෙන්ම දුප්පත් ගම්මානවල පොදු සිහිනය. යහපත් හෙට දවසක්. ඒ සිහිනය ජයගන්නට එක්ව නැගිටිමු. ගම්මැද්ද රට නගන ජන පෞර.
Welcome back to the news. The third edition of the world's first international investor-state mediation competition, IIMC Columbo 2024, concluded in Colombo yesterday.
International Investor-State Mediation Competition, IIMC Columbo, is the world's first and only mediation competition centered around investor-state dispute settlement. IIMC Columbo focuses on the education of professionals and students from a global audience on investor-state mediation with the hope of encouraging law students across the globe to view disputes differently.
Mediation is very much something that is now
firmly established on the world stage as a way of resolving disputes, and it is almost certainly the way of the future.
As a country that is recovering from an economic crisis, understanding effective dispute resolution mechanisms is really important. So it is in that light we have taken this step.
I am part of the mediator team, and to our great joy, we won. Both the mediation and in negotiation, we have won. And it has been a rich cultural experience here, experiencing teams from all over the world showcase their skills and talents. I could learn a lot considering this is my first international competition.
A total of 18 teams from universities across the world took part in this competition.
The 8th Dharma Conference to facilitate the cross-pollination of ideas and foster harmony between the two ancient civilizations took place in Gujarat, Ahmedabad.
The theme of the conference is Cosmology in Dhamma traditions. The 8th International Conference aims to bring together religious, political and thought leaders from Dhamma traditions to ponder over building a philosophical framework for the emerging New World Order. Over 300 religious leaders, intellectuals, scholars and politicians from 18 countries, including the President of the Mahabodhi Society of Sri Lanka, Venerable Banagala Upatissanayaka Thero, attended the conference.
पीसफुल रहने के लिए, to live peacefully, one has to adopt Panchashil.
Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar, Governor of Gujarat, Shri Acharya Devvrat, and the Chief Minister of Gujarat, Shri Bhupendra Patel, were among those who attended the conference.
Day 57 of the third phase of the LOLC Divi Savya program, which is being carried out for the betterment of Sri Lanka's future generation, got underway today.
Today's program was centered around schools in the Kalutara district. Under the Divisavya program, exercise books and stationery equipment required for 1 year are distributed free of charge to government schools with less than 150 students. Accordingly, school bags and stationery equipment were donated this morning to students at the Beruwala Primary School, Beruwala Buddhist Junior School, Moragala Junior School, Kaluamodara Junior School, Kossena Junior School, Karandagoda Junior School, Tudugala Bimarasara Vidyalaya and at the Kalutara Zonal Education Office. The LOLC Divisavya program continues to forge ahead for the future generation of Sri Lanka.
Trinity College Kandy won the first leg of the Bradby Shield against Royal College Colombo with a score of 17-16.
The first leg of the 78th Bradby Shield took place today at the Royal College Stadium in Colombo, drawing a large crowd of enthusiastic spectators. In the 11th minute, the Royalists opened their account with a penalty kick. Trinity responded in the 14th minute with their own penalty kick, levelling the score. By half-time, the Royalists led 13-8, having scored a try, a conversion and 2 penalties. Trinity managed a try and a penalty in the first half. The second half saw Trinity's smart play pay off as they scored 2 penalty kicks and a drop goal. The Royalists scored just a single penalty kick in the second half. Trinity edged ahead to secure victory in the first leg with a final score of 17-16. The second leg of the 78th Bradby Shield is scheduled for September 7th in Kandy.
We're just 28 days from the presidential election. Before we wrap up our news bulletin tonight, here's a look at the latest and most heated political viewpoints in tonight's edition of Before the Ballot.
Before the Ballot.
Anura Kumara during Chandrika's government promised to build 1,000 wavers but vanished for a year and a half without building a single waver, just like Gota did. Lal Kanta, after serving as Minister of Rural Economy for a year and a half, failed to establish a cooperative similar to Gota. Vijita Herath also abandoned his ministerial role. Are we just experimenting with incompetent leaders? The world has always advanced through experimentation. Research has led to new discoveries, and the world has changed daily through new experiments. The rule of these corrupt thieves and thugs have been tested for so long. It's been 76 years of trial and error. It's sad. It will only push the country further into bankruptcy. Under the JVP and Mahinda Rajapaksa government from 2004 to 2014, the country's debt increased by 934 billion rupees. This debt will push the country towards bankruptcy. Now that these JVP members have returned, does it mean our socialist thinking is no longer valid? They claim that the world has changed and we need to change too.
Now we begin all over again. A new country, new politics, new rulers, new policies, new theories and new laws. I believe that people on other platforms are all feeling quite disillusioned. Everyone has made mistakes, which is why there is a sense of panic.
If we consider the candidates, President Ranil Wickremesinghe is a seasoned politician. He is the only leader who has shown this country a political environment where people can have confidence. Ranil Wickremesinghe is the leader who has violated the constitution the most in the country. The court has issued great orders, but Ranil Wickremesinghe has breached the fundamental laws. The person requesting for your votes is someone who has violated the constitution. Will an election solve our problems? Local government alone will not fix the country's economy. What have you done to prevent further issues? An executive president, he prioritized strengthening the country's economy. Ranil Baba, along with not just 40 thieves, but a group of about 100, spent a lot of money. To defeat Sajid, they have proposed bids ranging from 200 to 300 million. We don't have people who can be bought over.
We see Thalatha Korala as a former female icon of Sajid. She also believes that you cannot stay divided and build the country. She is not the only one supporting President Ranil Wickremesinghe. More than half of Sajid's supporters have come out to support President Wickremesinghe today. Rohini Kaviratna will not support anyone but Sajid this time. Those thieves who are with Ranil today previously said he couldn't do it. Now they claim that he can. All he managed to do was build a road for those thieves who couldn't reach the people back then.
Just shouting will not work. Our president is a very straightforward person. He does what he can, directly says when something is not feasible. Today people have understood that the majority has decided that Ranil Wickremesinghe is the leader who should lead this country again. We need to decide whether we will vote for the current policies and lead the country in this direction, or end up going back to a queue in 6 months with a cylinder on our shoulders. Politicians have deceived us in the past, today, and will likely continue to deceive us in the future. These politicians, whether they claim to be revolutionaries or capitalists with different rhetoric, are here to mislead us for another 5 years. We need to stop this cycle. Today we are united around one person who we believe can revive the economy of this country, Dilip Jayavira, the candidate of Sarva Jana Balaya.
This election is not just about experience. Governing is a very challenging task for someone without experience, and we have regressed over the past 5 years. Therefore, handing the reins to a group lacking experience, despite their grandiose claims, will not be effective.
We believe that Ranil Wickremesinghe is a leader who can stabilize the country in an economic perspective. Given the past of other candidates, we lack confidence in them. It is unacceptable to have people in queues again, which is why we have made this decision.
Sri Lanka Nidas Pakshe.
As the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, we have faced lawsuits and the president and his henchmen have supported these actions with grants, privileges, bar permits and other financial means. This appears to be a conspiracy to take over our party. All the organisers have unanimously decided that we will form an alliance with presidential candidate Sajid Premadasa.
Before the ballot.
We'll leave you tonight with a friendly reminder that we're nearing the end of the much anticipated grand finale of the Shakti Crown. It's not too late. You can still catch the excitement live on our sister channel Shakti TV right now. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Good night.